this 7.74 kilowatt PV system, solar electric system, and we are pleased to be here today with Beatrice Berle to help educate some of her neighbors and others in New York State on what she's done to develop a cleaner future electric system for Berle Farms. Few people understand the importance of the environment than our farmers, and so it's really appropriate that you're here to understand where Beatrice is coming from. And few people understand the challenges that rising energy costs create for small farmers. So this is a concrete example of something we can do to help small farmers, and we've got some representatives of the organizations that help make this thing possible today. So first I'd like to introduce Mr. Mark Bamba, Solar Energy Specialist from Alteris Renewables.
I'll be brief here. I'm really not. I'm not into giving speeches, so I'll be very quick. Well, it's great to be here. It's great that Beatrice took the steps to get this system. It's great that Congressman-elect Gibson is here, USDA individuals here, TechSmart, and NYSERDA. I'm just happy that everybody's here to check out what we can do and what a small footprint that this takes up and how much it does for this farm. I don't know, Tom, who is next on the agenda? I'm being very quick because I'm just not.
Thank you, Mark. A lot of people criticize state and federal government and for not doing enough. But in this case, we've got a concrete example where state and federal government not only said they would do something, but acted on it. And in this case, they actually worked together. So it's a good news story. And one of the key organizations that assisted with this is NYSERDA. And speaking for NYSERDA is their CEO and president, Mr. Frank Puri.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here this morning today. First, I want to begin by congratulating Beatrice. You know, leadership is defined in many different ways, and often we look at the heroic grand gesture. In fact, on a day-to-day basis, what makes a difference in the lives of so many New Yorkers are the little people, the people that every day go out there and do a job and do it well. And Beatrice and her colleagues here, her friends and her neighbors, are an example of the type of New Yorkers we're all very proud of. Beatrice has taken another step further. She's taking what by nature is a very difficult thing. Farming is not an easy task, and she's used the opportunity to help educate the young people and others here in New York State about the importance of our land, our energy resources, and the interrelationship between the two of those. We at NYSERDA are very proud to have been part of this project. We put in about $20,000 to help pay for the cost of these installations, but this is just a small part of what we do. We are about to roll out in early January a $5 million program specifically targeted at the agricultural industry to help finance energy efficiency, PV systems, anaerobic digesters, with the type of technologies that are not only responsive to the environment and our concerns about the environment today, but also we hope will help make farming here in New York State a tough business under a set of circumstances, more competitive and a little bit easier. So thank you very much, Beatrice, and good luck.
Representing the federal government, the United States Department of Agriculture has a program that was beneficial to the system as well. And Scott Collins was the energy specialist that actually worked on this project. He wasn't able to be here today, so representing Scott is Mr. Howard Coombs, who's a loan specialist from the Greenwich office.
Thank you. On behalf of Rural Development and our State Director, Jill Harvey, I want to say thank you to Beatrice for inviting us here. And we're glad that you were able to put this project together. Beatrice, this project was one of 21 solar projects that we did in the state in 2010. And we're looking forward to doing more. We thank Frank and NYSERDA. They're a great technical partner and funding partner. And contact us if you want help with the applications, and we'll help you with that. Thanks.
These programs wouldn't happen without people representing your interests at the state and federal government level. And here to speak at the state level is Assemblyman Tony Jordan.
Thank you. It's a true pleasure to be here and an honor. And I heard a statement about it 6 months ago that the students to my right from Hoosick Falls will be part of a class who will be doing things in 5 years that don't exist today. And farming has to exist in New York and the United States. And it's the creativity of NYSERDA, but the bravery of folks like the Berles who are willing to try new and different ways to make agricultural real and make it work and make it sustainable and do it without relying on foreign oil or things that will destroy the environment, and take advantage of what's a renewable resource. And so it's an honor to be here on behalf of the 112th. I live in a farm family and represent predominantly a farm district. So it is great to see this type of initiative with federal and state assistance, but most importantly with the family that's willing to take the initiative and risk farming in an atmosphere that's not always conducive. So look around, folks. This is what you get a chance to create and make it affordable and sustainable. So thank you very much.
Our next speaker has spent over the last 20 years of his life selflessly serving our nation and sometimes putting himself in harm's way. And he decided to put himself in harm's way again by representing us in Washington and in the interest of New Yorkers. We found out yesterday that he was selected for the Subcommittee of Agriculture. It's a very important one that decides legislation, regulations, and law that affect the farming industry in many different ways. So I'm pleased to welcome Congressman-elect Chris Goodson.
Hey, thanks, Tom. And let me echo the comments earlier to really applaud the courage and the leadership of Beatrice Berle. To step forward today. During the campaign, I often mention that we are blessed with the smartest, the hardest working farmers in the world. The issue that they have is profitability. And you see here today really the nexus of energy, of the economy, of the environment, and foreign policy, all here today. And as Tony just mentioned moments ago, it's a great pleasure to be with the students here from Hoosick Falls, because you're really seeing leadership step forward, and for Beatrice to come forward and to step forward in this program, but she's already getting returns on investment for stepping forward with Alteris, and for Tom, and I want to thank Tom for his service. He's a retired Army soldier, who now is answering a calling to help our country get off dependence on fossil fuels and on foreign oil, and for Alteris on the leading edge of this, and what you're seeing is in the first month that Beatrice brought on PV here, the solar power, she saved 62% on her energy costs. And so when I mentioned at the outset that the real issue for farmers is profitability, she's already seeing a return on investment in terms of strengthening her farm. And by strengthening her farm, that's making us stronger here, our economy, and it's cleaner for our environment. We all love our environment. That's why we're here, and we want to turn over a cleaner, a better world to future generations. And it's also impacting our foreign policy, which for a long time has been impacted by our dependence on fossil fuels. So I just think this is a great news story. I'm very proud to be here today, just to stand witness and to praise Beatrice. And I look forward to working with all as we go forward. Energy, I think, is a major aspect of getting our economy going. And what we do there, today we're talking about renewables, but it's not just renewables. It's also natural gas, where it's responsible and not harming the water supply. And it's also nuclear power. And so, Frank, I look forward to working with you on all these issues as we go forward. I am proud to be part of the Agricultural Committee. I was appointed, it's soon to be here in January, appointed yesterday. And so for our representative with the Department of Agriculture, I look forward to working with you, Mr. Kuntz, as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'd also like to recognize that although Senator Roy McDonald isn't able to be here today, we have representation by Jim Church from his office, so thank you very much for coming, Jim. I'd now like to introduce our hostess. You never know much about people until you get to meet them, and then you're amazed sometimes. And Beatrice Berle is that kind of person. She's a world traveler, literally, and decided that after all that experience, she wanted to be a farmer and contribute, make her contribution to our country, to her community, and to her family by farming a tough life. And so she's a person that is very interested in, not only passionate about bringing organically certified organic food to us, making us aware of it, but also protecting our environment. And by being a pioneer with putting this system in, it really sets an example for students and her neighbors on another way to have a clean energy future. So, Beatrice?
Thank you. I really have to say it didn't take that much courage. There was so much help in putting this project together. And to me, innovative energy is really one of the major answers to many of our issues today. And just thank you all very much. And to the students, I just want to say, check out those solar panels. What I would like to see you all do in the future is make them more efficient, make the costs go down, and it's your job now. Let's go. This is the most optimistic area in development, and particularly development right now. So check them out, and they're going to change a lot in your lifetime. Within 30 years, they'll probably look completely different. And it's up to you to see some things.
Well, thank you very much for attending. We'll be here from Alteris to talk about the system, work with the students, and there's refreshments, organic refreshments, right around the corner by the barn.
And you can buy some cheese.
Organic cheese. Thank you very much for coming, and drive carefully.